Hey, what is up internet? Kyle here, Slapshot Toys. For the first time in freaking forever, I'm doing an actual edited video for the Sweet Spot Monday video block. So let's go.
Live from a porous membrane, it's the Sweet Spot. Last time, Cincy Nerd.
Frickin' awesome, frickin' amazing. Holy frick. Green tea, baby. They are quite pricey.
Craig.
Monday! Monster Truck Day! One night only at the RPG Arena.
We have some more pop destruction going on.
The Craiginator won't be stopped.
Big A tire. You got it.
Sweet Spot Monster Truck Mayhem is brought to you by Sins Tea, the taste of Cincy Nerd all up in your mouth.
Kyle.
All right, I think we're live. It's been such an insanely long time since I've done this.
Stunned is the only way to describe how stunned I am.
How's everyone doing?
Hello, this is Academy Award winner Josh Pence, known for my role in the critically acclaimed RPG. Thank you for watching The Sweet Spot.
4 channels, 4 new videos back to back. Every Monday, Sweet Spot.
All right, guys, so we are here downtown Loveland. We have my brother-in-law, my brother, and the reason we are here is we're actually at a record store called Platinum Records right behind us. And the reason we're at Platinum Records is because today is Record Store Day, or the second half of it this year, because they split it in 2 days for COVID reasons. But essentially, this is like new comic book day, or free comic book day, where what they do is they put out a bunch of limited edition vinyl that you can only get at independent record stores. We're down here. There's one record I want to get. It's Czarface, Czar Noir. And yeah, I figured we'd show you inside Plaid Room. They had one of their flips the other day. They did had a hybrid theory. Alright guys, so we are all done at Platinum Records, and now we are at our normal stop for food and beer, Mad Tree Brewing on Record Store Days. This is where we always come, so we're gonna go grab some beer.
Played disc golf when we were playing on teams.
Now record store number 2, Everybody's Records. Thank you. All right guys, so now we are up in Dayton, Ohio, and I'm actually up here to visit Blind Rage Records, which I showed in one of my previous videos. Pretty much my happy place. I freaking love this record store, but they somehow found a copy of a record that I've been looking for a very long time, here to pick it up, which I'm super excited about. But the other thing I also wanted to show you is there's a brand new store up here because Blind Rage actually moved down 2 storefronts, and what took over their old spot, just a vintage sports collectible store that is so freaking cool. So it's called Rink Rat Collectibles. So I'm gonna run into Blind Rage, pick up my record, and then I'm going to take you on a little tour of Rink Rat. All right, guys, so we are in Rink Rat Collectibles, and we're here with man, Kaveen. He's the owner of this awesome establishment, and as you can tell behind me, there's just a lot of awesome stuff. And just kind of wanted to give him a little shout out and show you guys just an awesome kind of vintage sports collectible store. So take you around, show you some cool stuff. All right, guys, so up here in the corner, we have a bunch of old school pennants. Got some newer stuff with Golden State, Cavaliers, got a Harlem Globetrotters right there, Ohio State, some football, like an old school Cincinnati Bengals, 88 AFC champions. That was a Super Bowl year, wasn't it? 88?
Yeah,
I think so. And then coming down here, we have some Mcfarland hockey figures. So you got Kurt Joffis, Patrick Waugh, Reiserman, got some baseball, got Messi, Randy Johnson, some cool stuff right there. Over here we have some starting lineup. One I thought was really, really cool. It's the Joe Montana in his like warm-up gear. The shirt done up with the belly showing and pretty much just underwear on. That one's kind of cool. And then here's some basketball. So yeah, just a really nice selection of starting lineup. Then kind of come up here, some more bobbleheads and assorted figures. Got some pops. And then the Mr. Red Legs X-Wing. I actually had that. I'm pretty sure I gave that to Cincy. I'm not 100% sure if I did. I'm 90% sure I actually just gave that to him since he's a Reds fan. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but got an Iron Man for the comic people. Some more pops. Those are actually the Canadian exclusives of Tavares and Matthews. Some hockey bobbleheads. Got the Flying Pig Cyclones. I don't know if that's a bobblehead or if that's just a statue. But it's a bobble.
I think so.
That was a giveaway that they did. And then probably one of my favorite sections is the hat section because they have some amazing stuff. And some basketball up here. You got some football. It's like Saints, Falcons, New York. Which one? Oh, the with like a suede. Just like a suede bill. That is crazy. I got some Raiders. I even got like what is it, like corduroy Bengals. Got some old Super Bowl hats, and then my shelf hockey. Got the newer Cyclones logo, Blue Jackets, Flyers. This one is amazing. It's like the old school, like you're talking like 80s, 90s Cincinnati Cyclones logo on that hat. And some Kings, Blackhawks, Leafs. Oh, actually, here's another cool Cyclones hat. Oh, he's got a black one too. That's freaking dope. But yeah. Some really cool stuff. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the team, but you know, I'll surpass it because this thing is just super gaudy and awesome. But it's a tree ornament of the Stanley Cup champions Penguins ring. Looking over here, we have jerseys and clothing. So we have an old school original Columbus Blue Jacket. Absolutely love this one. This is the, I think, like mid 80s, or not mid 80s, mid 90s Phoenix Coyotes. Again, just super gaudy and just a better time in the NHL. So I think this was one of the outdoor games, the Stadium Winter Classic. Okay. Winter Classic Canadians. Got a Leaf jersey. And some of these do actually have names on them. So Calgary, USA Hockey. Got a Nashville Predator from their Winter Classic. Got an old Nordiques. Taking it way back with that one. And then got a Wild. Got a Blackhawks. I believe that's just one of their thirds. I think this was like their basically the rebox version of the Color Rush hockey jerseys. Got a Penguins. But yeah, another Leafs. This is a Matthews. But yeah, some really, really awesome stuff. Got the Miami Mantites. Is this ECHL?
WHA2, bud.
WHA2.
The WHA reboot. It's super, super hard to find in almost anywhere.
Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah. Got an Ovechkin. Capitals. Got a Jägermeister. I got a Doug Gluglat from Goon. I freaking love that movie. But fantastic to see. Oh, I think this was the this is the Ovechkin Winter Classic.
Yeah,
you have the normal one too. But yeah, it's like a Malkin. Planet Hollywood. Got a old school Ducks. That's cool. Got Devils. Some newer Adidas. Got an Atkinson and Bobrovsky. And that was the Reebok. So yeah. And we got the third jersey as well from Columbus. And then coming here, we got some basketball jerseys. I got a Flint Tropics from Semi-Pro. Coffee Black, which was Andre 3000's character in the movie. That is so cool. And then coming here, some Knicks, some Bulls, some Warriors. Also got kind of a basketball, baseball jersey. And down here we have some just old school sweatshirts. Some USA Hockey, Wisconsin. It's like Magic. Bengals, old Chiefs, some old Bulls, St. Louis, Fighting Irish, Notre Dame. Oh, I got a Charleston Chiefs jersey right there. It's got to be, Reggie Dunlop. Good old Paul Newman's character. Actually, I don't know if I've ever actually seen a Dunlap. It's always one of the Hansons. So, some retro t-shirts here. Stanley Cup t-shirts. Some wings. Some football. Yeah, so just kind of giving you guys a good overview of kind of what they have. Some really freaking awesome stuff. Some other jackets. You have a Pro Line old starter jacket. I remember those were all the rage when I was a kid. And then you have a Cincinnati Stingers pennant. That is freaking fantastic. And then some other pennants. And then I think this is all used stuff, but some legit starter jackets here. I had a Flyers one, but it wasn't that style. It's the one with like the big pouch on the front. But yeah, got some new stuff. I think over here we have some Tasmanian Devil sports memorabilia. And then kind of coming here on the back, what we have is a lot of cards. So we have Pokemon cards. You can see here all the individual cards. I don't know anything about these. Not gonna pretend like I do, but definitely have a lot of different Pokemon here. And then kind of coming here to the front of the store, he's actually just got a bunch of new stuff that he's going through and pricing out. But kind of down here in the case, you have some baseball cards. So those look all graded. And then some, ones are just protectors down here. Does have a couple boxes of hockey. It's like some just random hockey cards right here. And then some basketball. And then here behind, we have some autographed wrestling photos, some figures, and then a bunch of mix between new and old card packs and boxes. And yeah, just a lot of awesome stuff. All right, guys, so we are obviously back home. I hope you guys enjoyed the very limited footage of the record stores. I didn't want to take too much in there just because I know everyone gets bored with the record stuff, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed the thorough walkthrough of Rink Rat Collectibles. It is such an amazingly awesome store. I cannot recommend them enough if you are into vintage sports memorabilia, or honestly just want to see some really cool vintage clothing and just awesome items. And especially if you're into cards, definitely check them out. I have all their information in the description below so you can find out where they're at. Definitely follow them on Instagram. It's an awesome follow. But now to the actual haul portion. So I did pick up one thing at Rink Rat. They had a lot of awesome stuff that I wanted, but I just went with a set of cards. So I ended up buying, I guess, one of the booster packs. I don't know exactly what you call these, but I got the MLS Soccer 2021. But yeah, I had to make a purchase to support Rink Rat. And now to switch over to the record haul, just to let you guys know right off the bat, this is going to take a little bit of time. This is the biggest record haul I've ever gotten. So record store day was amazing as it always is. It's a little tradition between me, my brother, and my brother-in-law. We go out in the morning, go to the record store, go to a couple breweries, and just have a good time. And this year was no exception. It was fantastic. Record store day was a little bit different this year because they actually did it in two parts, trying to not overcrowd because of COVID. The record stores, typically they release like 400 records all in one day. They actually broke it out into 3 days last year. This year they did 2. So the first one was actually back in June. And then obviously this weekend was part 2. Also, this one was a little bit different for us personally. Typically we get there at like 4:35 in the morning at the record store. We sit out in the line, take my Switch, play video games, and just wait it out and make sure we're one of the first ones in the store so we can make sure we're getting the records that we actually want. We did that back in June, and I'm gonna show you the couple records I got from part 1 of Record Store Day. This time we didn't do that just because there was only one record in this wave that we really wanted. It was a 4,000 limited numbers, pretty high comparatively to the Record Store Day stuff, so I didn't think it was going to sell out. It obviously didn't, but overall just an awesome event. And I'm going to go ahead and show you first the records that I picked up that were specifically for Record Store Day for 2021. So the first one was the one I actually went out for this specific morning, and it was the Czarface Czar Noir. You guys know I'm a huge Czarface fan. A lot of comic references. I mean, as you can see, literally the cover of this is Secret Wars #8. It's the character Czarface, and yeah. And then kind of just give you guys a little example. So here's like the little hype sticker for Record Store Day 2021. That's usually what comes on these records. And this one's actually a really cool record. I'm gonna take it out of the package and show you why. All right, so here we have the record out of the packaging, and what makes this one so special is it's actually a soundtrack that comes with its own comic book here on the jacket. So if we open this up, as you can see, it's a actual comic book of Czarface. So really cool. And then the actual record, which is just black vinyl, it actually goes with, it's like a little soundtrack to while you're reading it. So really freaking cool. This is the second time that they've done this. Super excited that I was able to pick this up. And now I'm going to show you the records that I picked up from part 1 of Record Store Day back in June. So the first one, keeping with the Czarface theme, is actually a 3-inch record. And yes, inside this little packaging is a tiny little playable 3-inch record, just a single of Czarface and MF Doom. They did an album together. They've actually done 2. This is Metal with Metal, one of the Metal with Metal, but oh man, this is gonna be terrible. Metal, MEDDLE with Metal, METAL. Finally got it right there. And this was super limited. I believe there was only like 500 of these in existence, and I was extremely lucky to be able to grab one of these. The next 2 records are the main things I was trying to get from part 1 of Record Store Day. The first one is a very long out-of-print Alkaline Trio album. So they reprinted From Here to Infirmary. This was a Record Store Day exclusive, and not only is it a reprint, which they haven't done in a very long time, and originals are pretty expensive, they did it on an awesome black and red splatter. So just a really cool looking vinyl. And the other record that I was really looking for Record Store Day part 1 is Senses Fail, Let It Unfold You, one of my all-time favorite albums. Again, out of print for a while, kind of hard to find. And what they did on this one was they called it, I believe, the Mirror Fire Gold. So it's like a little textured gold record to kind of mirror the fire in the mirror. How many times can I say mirror? Super awesome to have. Both these, the Alkaline Trio and the Sense Fail, were limited to 1,500 copies. So super glad I was able to pick up both of those. And the final record that I picked up from part 1, not as exclusive as the other 2, but this one had, I think, 4,000 copies. And it's a guilty pleasure of mine, and it is Linkin Park, Meteora, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm 100% not sure, but it's their second album. And this one, I think you can find in black pretty easily right now. The 4,000 variant was this cool blue vinyl. And moving on, I also got some records in the mail from just direct orders. And the first one is Aesop Rock. You guys know I'm an absolutely huge fan of his and probably one of my favorite rappers of all time. This is Appleseed. This is his demo, first time ever on vinyl. And I pre-ordered it directly from his site. It was his store exclusive. It's a translucent smoke is what they call it. And I had one last record that I got through mail orders directly from the artist, and is one of my all-time favorites hip hop producers, Larange. Him and Namir Blade teamed up for this album, Imaginary Everything. This one was, I believe, his web store exclusive, and they called it Cosmic Clear, which is a really awesome vinyl. Some super bright colors there on the clear actual record. So super awesome. The next 2 records I actually picked up at Everybody's Records, which you guys saw in the video. These are both just black vinyl, so nothing super crazy, but filling gaps in my collection. So the first one, Lana Del Rey, She's My Girl, her and Billie Eilish. I was missing Ultraviolence, and I've actually never ever seen it at a record store. So as soon as I was flipping through her section and I saw that they had one copy, had to snag it. And the other one is one of my all-time favorite punk bands, Pennywise. Again, just gap filling in my collection. So this is All or Nothing. So super happy again to start completing their entire discography in my collection. And just to throw in some toy stuff, Everybody's Records does sell Super 7 reaction figures. So I couldn't pass up a Misfits Fiend that I did not have in my collection yet. So got the red cloaked Fiend. And the next couple records that I did pick up come from Blind Rage Records. If you guys follow me on Instagram and stuff, you guys know that is literally my happy place. That is by far my all-time favorite record store. I spend way too much money there. I'm even wearing this shirt right now. First up, I picked up a couple of 7 inches. So the first one is Gel, Violent Closure. This one was just a black vinyl. Unfortunately, I missed out on the pink variant, but this one is Planet on a Chain. Not gonna read the title. You guys can read it yourself because I don't want to get flagged for. This one was a red 7-inch. And then the last one is Voidbringer. This one's a little bit more on the thrashy death metal side, and it's actually a really fun record. I've listened to it quite a bit since I've gotten it, and this one was a cool green vinyl right here. Next record I picked up was a gap filler for me for Bad Religion. So this is New Maps of Hell. Didn't have this one in my collection, so had to pick it up to black vinyl. And then he had a ton of Terror, and I picked up everything that he had that I didn't already have because Terror is pretty much my favorite hardcore band, or at least definitely in the top 3. Records that I was able to find was 2 live records. The first one being The Bridge 9 Days, No Regrets, No Shame. I believe this was recorded out in California. And this one is a really cool black, and I think they call it smoke gray split. Another one is another live album So this is Terror, June 10th, 2004. CBGB's in New York. This one's just a black vinyl. And then the last one was an actual studio album that I'm missing in my Terror collection, the 25th Hour. So this one is a variant, and it is a red vinyl. And now to the last two records that I picked up. And honestly, this is the first time that I've actually really spent true money on like actual, like, I mean, all these are somewhat collectible, but like these are like original pressings. Like these are actually what I would consider real collectible records and big boy records, if you would. So you guys know me, I love my hardcore, I love my true punk, I love my indie hip hop, but I have such a freaking soft spot for pop punk. And so I couldn't pass up on either of these records because they're two of my favorites. The first one being Fall Out Boy, Infinity on High. So this is an original pressing. This is 180 gram vinyl. It's only black. It's none of the variants. So this was a no-brainer as soon as I saw it on their record wall. I had to pick it up, and so happy I did. I spun it already 2 or 3 times, and it's just as good as it always was. So picked up Fall Out Boy, Infinity on High. And now it's time for the grand finale, the big kahuna, if you will, the most expensive record I have ever freaking bought, the rarest record I have ever freaking bought. And this record is I'm going to actually use the word grail on this because this is in my all-time top 3 records. First, there's a little bit of a fun story of how this came to be. So Blind Rage Records posted a little flip through of all the new used stuff that they got, and this record was actually in it. First time I had ever seen it out in the wild, and first time they had ever seen it. Like, it's that rare. And so I messaged them and I'm like, hey, do you guys still have this? I'm gonna come up in the afternoon if you do. And unfortunately it had sold lightning quick, like within 30 minutes of them opening. And they're like, oh, sorry, you know, like they weren't allowing holds on it. And I was like, okay, like that makes sense. And then so I go up Saturday just to go, you know, peruse and buy some other stuff. And I'm talking with one of the workers, and she was like, oh yeah, we had this record in the other week. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, I tried to message and like, but you know, unfortunately you guys sold it real quick. And like she, you know, messing on her phone, and then we're just kind of talking about pop punk, and all of a sudden she looks up and she was like, do you want one? And I'm like, what? And she was like, the record we were just talking about, do you want one? And I was like, well, yeah. And she's like, it's not going to be cheap. And I'm like, well, I didn't expect it to be. And she was like, our owner is literally in Columbus right now, and he has someone is like basically wanting to sell him one. We will buy it for you if you want it. And they did. And I went up like a couple days later and picked it up. And the record that it is 4 Years Strong, Enemy of the World, their second album. This is such an unbelievably amazing album, and the fact that I own it in physical copy is just unbelievable. But on top of that, so what makes this record so rare is it was only pressed once. On top of that, it was $2,000 for retail. 325 were tour exclusive. The tour exclusive was a translucent gold. So 325, and then I think it was a clear and orange were the 2 variants for the retail. I've only ever seen on Discogs once the orange variant, and they wanted $150 for it. Not only is this just a copy in general that I found in the wild, but freaking take a look at this. I'm gonna like actually keep all this in just for anticipation, even though you guys know what it's gonna be. It is the translucent gold. So this is not only just a copy of this in general, this is the limited 325 edition, and this is so unbelievably awesome, and I cannot believe that's in my collection. It has, other than to do this little filming, it has not left my turntable, and yeah, I am so over the moon. So I don't think anyone from Blind Rage actually watches my stuff, but if you guys do, thank you guys so incredibly much for finding this for me and being willing to sell it to me. And yeah, I cannot thank you guys enough. This is freaking unbelievable. All right, so that is going to be it for the video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the videos. It means so much. This felt so freaking awesome to get back to everything. Sorry that there was absolutely no toy stuff other than one Super 7 figure. This weekend was just a lot of fun with going to record stores and stuff, so I thought I would just document this as a way to get back into it. But definitely be on the lookout, because the next 2 videos are going to be 1000% nothing but toys and comics. I have my Batman collection that I have filmed and working on editing, so that's going to be one of the next videos. I did say it was going to be next week. I don't know if it's going to be or not, because this upcoming weekend, I'm actually going with Josh Pence to the Gym City Comic-Con. So the first con that I've been to in a year and a half, we're actually going to go to that. and hang out. So I may use that as the video for next week. Either way, I don't know what the order is going to be. It's going to be a Batman collection and Gem City Comic-Con footage. So definitely be on the lookout for those videos. Again, thank you so much for joining the Sweet Spot. If you guys haven't already, check out all the other videos that released this week. They're all freaking fantastic. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much once again, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.